Couple bands on you, couple blacks, ayy. That's a fact, ayy. Throw it back, ayy. Throw it back, ayy. And this one is for the champion. Ain't lost since I began.
And he just beat you in the kingdom. And you think he was a fraud.
I told you long ago on the road, I got what they waiting for.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. God, what a good day to be alive. Everything else. Daniel, sucks to be you. Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to ruin that kill streak. That was your boy, Clay Major. Your boy, the commissioner. Back as always. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, we got some modifications to the set here. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my guest, my co-host, your fantasy football president, Players Social Union representative, Joe Lozier. Joe.
Thanks for having me, Clay.
Hey, buddy. Dude, always great to have you here. Truly one of my favorite co-hosts, and I love the reliability and accountability on yourself. That's what I love most about you, Joe. Fresh off a win, too. Congratulations for that. That was a good win for you. 4 games. That's incredible. 4 games. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the set. I've introduced me. I've introduced your co-host. Let me introduce someone else that's very special to us, our unofficial sponsor, Fireball. Always smooth, always true, always Fireball. Joe, do a little shot to that. Woo! It sure did get cold out here, ladies and gentlemen. About as cold as Daniel's win streak just got. Thanks, Joe. That little zinger is going to lead us right into the Commish Weekly Recap Season 4, Episode 6, titled Clay versus Goliath. First matchup, we had Mr. Rogers. I'm sorry, Joe, do you want to say something?
No.
Okay. First matchup, we had Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, who was 3-2 in 5th place going into this, going against Boner Pills, Jonathan, who is 3-2 also, number 2 going into this. Jonathan ended up winning this one, routing Tuna 132-77 and 96-69. Nice. It's inverted 69. It's like a double 69. So technically, Tuna, you should have probably won that.
But you didn't.
But you didn't. But in everybody's heart, you won that game. Tuna, you only had one 20-point scorer. That was Patrick Mahomes. You had 3 others within 14 to 17-point range. Not terrible until you hear this statistic, Joe. He had 5 players below 10 points. That included both his running backs, his wide receiver, his flex, who I believe was also a running back, and a kicker. You're not going to win when your running backs and wide receivers are doing that for you, Joe. I think you would agree on that.
If I remember correctly, he started Aaron Jones and
A.J. Dillon.
A.J. Dillon, thank you. And they got beat by the Jets.
They sure did.
Okay.
So, bad game. Bad game for the Tuna. Bad game for the Packers all the way around. So, thoughts and prayers. Tuna, thoughts and prayers. Jonathan, the Bigs Bills 3, as we like to call them around here because they are so dominant for you, put up 73.46. That's more than 2/3 of Tuna's points total right there. 3 players. 3 players were below 10 points for you, John, so you might have escaped this one, luckily. DK Metcalf, Dallas Goedert, and Jonathan Tucker all got you below 10 points, which 3 players below 10 points, still not a bad thing. With the win, John advances to 4-2, possession of 2nd place by tiebreaker, and Tuna falls to 3-3, 6th place. Next matchup, Joe. This is actually your matchup. Dirty Randy's 0-5 going into this in 8th place. Joe 3-2 going into this in 3rd place. You ended up winning this one barely, edging. You were edging hard edging. 103.50 to 91.32. Barely a 10-point game against the worst league in the team. Were you scared at any point during this?
No.
Great.
I mean, okay, so here's the deal.
Okay.
If you would like, I was down by what 5 points, 7 points with my quarterback, a running back, and a wide receiver going on Monday night. And although it was a crappy game, still like 7 points. So yeah, I eked it out. But this isn't college football. A win's a win. I'm on a 4-game win streak.
That you are, Joe. Mason in this game had only one 20-point scorer. That was Dalvin Cook at 20.23, so that was barely. He had 3 in the 10s, which was 12.8 by the quarterback, 17.8 by the running back, and 16.5 by the defense. He had 5 players below 10 points. That would include the wide receiver, his other wide receiver, his tight end, his flex running back, Young Hoo, and that would be an average of 4.77 points for those players who combined to score 23.83 points. That's 5 players combined to score 23.83 points. Joe, yes.
If I may. Spoiler alert, Mason gets the privilege of going against John this week without his Buffalo Bills. And he's going to get his first win. So
we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that in the predictions, Joe. We're not jumping ahead. I like it though. I like where you're coming from.
But I just
we just got to dial it back, bud. All right,
I get really excited for the recap show, Clay.
I know. I get excited too, bro. We're here together. That's all that matters. Moving forward, we got past Mason's 5 players that got him 23.83 points combined. So we're going to move on. Joe, 2 20-point scorers. Ramondre Stevenson, who was a mage factor, if you remember that. Got you. I didn't put I just put mage factor. That's all you need to know there. Mark Andrews got you 20-plus points as well. Rest of the team, you had 2 guys at 15.2 and 12.95. And then the other guys were all below 10 points.
Yeah.
You had scores of 2.4, 2.7, and a combined 13.5 points from your special teams and kicker. You eked the win this week, brother. Congratulations, but you eked it.
I feel like Tuna having most of my bench injured and not playing. I feel like every single year Tuna ends up with a full roster of injured bench.
Tuna can make his own excuses, Joe. You don't need to make excuses for Tuna.
Oh, no. It's not an excuse.
No. It sounds like you're making an excuse. Anyways, Tuna's horrible. There's probably a reason he's got injuries on his bench. I mean, who keeps injured players? So moving on. Joe, you continue your 4-game winning streak, and you move to 4-2 on the season, currently in 3rd place. Mason continues this historic open to a season at 0-6, currently 8th place. And I have a note here, maybe eliminated from playoffs?
Playoffs?
Oh, by the way,
trying to win a game. You're talking about playoffs?
By the way, the commish pick in the last game was Jonathan. I got that correct. The commish pick in this game was Joe. I got that correct. Joe, you're welcome. Next matchup, we have Hillier Hole, 3-2, 4th place going into this, going against Sex Panther, fresh off their first win of the season at 1-4 in 7th place. Once again, a little lopsided, but Joe, Mahendra would have beat you. 145-61 to 113-80. Very good game. I think still a good amount of points. This is kind of a weird week. I heard a stat, Joe, that there has been 100 less touchdowns scored at this point in the season than there was last year and the year before that. Did you hear that? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So low point totals. Hey, this is
stat too.
The fantasy footballers, Joe. I was doing my run this morning, my weekly run, and I like to listen to them.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. Humble brag, ladies and gentlemen. Humble brag.
Yeah.
So that being said, Andrew, the highest scorer this week, you had 4 players. Oh, you had the highest score among all fantasy teams, Andrew. So Kumar, you went 0-1 regardless this week, but you would have beat a lot of people this week. 4 players above 20 points. 1 with 30 plus. That'd be Burrow. Brees Hall got you 24. Tyreek Hill got you 25, and Eckler got you 20. Joe, where did you go? There you are, buddy. 4 players below 10 points for you, Andrew. 1 at 2.7, 7.3. There was a 6, and there was a 4.5. Not good stats, bud. Not good stats. you were the highest scorer, so it didn't really matter. Mahendra, only one 20-point score. That was Run CMC. However, the rest of the team played good, and you only ended up with 3 players below 10. And 2 out of those 3 players ended up with a 8.93 and a 9.5 point total. That's honestly, Kumar, you put up a fight this week. Mahendra, you put up a fight this week. Hillier Hole moves to 4-2 with the win, 4th place. Mahendra falls to 1-5, 7th place. Commish pick, I had Mahendra in this, so I lost that one, Joe. So I'm 2-1 on the week. Any thoughts about this matchup?
I'm really proud of you, Clay.
For what? I haven't got to my recap yet.
I'm really proud of the steps you're making to put some respect on the Sex Panthers name.
Listen, Kumar was cute at first, but Mahendra is fully earned my respect. I look at him like a brother almost, a spiritual partner maybe. But yeah, man, great guy. I would move the world for him. So moving on, Joe. Commissioner's 2-1 in his picks last week. I'm sorry I lost the paper where you and Andrew made yours, but we're pretty close, I think. So, Joe, this leads me to America's fantasy game of the week of the century game, which took place between your commissioner, Amon the Chase for the Hertz, 2-3, 6th place in the league, the biggest underdog of the season, going against who? Not David, Daniel, the Goliath. 5-0 going into this, 1st place. And ladies and gentlemen, let nobody tell you that your commissioner doesn't fight and doesn't have a heart of a lion, because I do. And I think that will be demonstrated by today. I had 2 straight losses going in, and I could have threw in the towel. I did not. Instead, I beat that ass. I beat him 128.62 to 115.95, all right? Because I thought, I saw Daniel. I got these pussies out here walking like they ain't losers, and I have to do something about that. Joe, yes.
Can't say ass on the radio. Just saying.
Continue, I can't say please. Pussies either, but Dan is one.
You can say pussy on the radio. You can't say ass. Continue, please.
Yes, no, that's not true. You can say ass. You can't say pussy. I'm not here to get into 7 things you can't say on the radio, Joe. This.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. Forgive me.
Did you just stop me because I said ass? Okay, I love it. Thank you, sir.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Clay beat Daniel. Clay had 3 of his best players on the bye this week, and you don't believe me? I had Derrick Henry, my number 1 running back. I had Amon St. Brown, number 1 in my heart, number 2 on my roster. And the 1st place kicker in the league, Daniel Carlson, was out. So I had a huge handicap going in, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't like I was at full strength either. Daniel had only his tight end on the bye. And as a reminder, his tight end is not Travis Kelce. Did you hear that, Joe? I don't got you on my headset. Are you there? Can you hear me?
I muted it because the dogs were going nuts. Nikki and Corey just got home. So the
Thank you. I appreciate you for muting it.
Yeah, it's on mute. I got it now. Well, here we go.
Did
you had Daniel Carlson on the bench.
Yep. And Daniel, for his bye weeks, only his tight end was on the bye, who, mind you, is not Travis Kelce.
No.
Clay had 1 30-point score. That was Jamar Chase. I had 1 20-point score. That was Kenneth Walker. I would also like to mention Travis Kelce had 17.3 points on 108 yards receiving and 4 yards rushing. That is 12.3 more points than Daniel's tight end got him. Daniel. Oh, by the way, Joe, I only had 3 players below 10 points, 2 of which were doozies, because Kareem Hunt got me 1.5 and George Pickens got me 4.33. So they could have sabotaged me. Luckily, it paced out. My replacement kicker had 8 points, so decent pickup. That's what you want from a streamer kicker. Daniel, you had 1 player barely over 20 points. That's Lenny Fournette, 20.68. Conversely, you only had 2 players under 10 points, so you did put up a fight in this. Also, Travis Kelce did not get you 17.3 points on 100 yards receiving and 4 yards rushing because he was on Clay's team. Daniel tastes defeat for the first time this year, falling to 5-1. Still in 1st place. Clay and Travis Kelce advanced to 3-3, fifth place on the year. Commish pick, the Travis Kelce less Daniels in this one. I lost that, but I'm happy I lost that prediction, right? So I went 2-2 on the week, Joe. Any thoughts on the comment on the matchup?
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Did I go too faster?
No,
Perfect.
not at all.
With that being said, my bold strat of the week was Travis Kelce falling to the third round when Daniel had a chance to draft him in the third round. When you come at the best, Daniel, you best not miss. Waiver wires, ladies and gentlemen. Joe, one of my favorite segments. We're going to do a shot here. Do you have one ready? Oh, I love the pop. Yeah, I love the pop.
That's the misunderstood pop.
That's it. It's a good old piece shot. To the waiver wire, ladies and gentlemen. So, starting off, Mahendra dropped Antonio Gibson, running back Washington, added Kenyon Drake, running back Baltimore, after his huge week last week. Joe, you dropped Drake London, who we've talked about this pickup earlier in the show a couple of weeks ago, to add Jameson Williams. A little premature?
Rather premature than late.
It's been your saying for 30 years of life, buddy. I love you. I love you. Mason dropped.
Unless you're trying to get pregnant or beat someone to the waiver wire, the best strat.
Fair. I mean, that's pretty good. Very, very sexist, misogynistic, but that's pretty good.
Please continue.
Mason, drop James Conner, John Connor, the Terminator. Added New England Patriots defense. He wasted his number one waiver priority on a defense. Bold strategy, Cotton. See how it pays off for him. And a corresponding news, it's actually breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. This just happened before the show. Mason dropped the Rams defense and picked up Brian Robinson, the running back from Washington, who got shot twice. So, Joe, round of applause. That's a savvy pickup.
Wait a minute. Was that Mason's first waiver wire addition this year?
No, he just picked up the New England defense. He wasted his number one waiver priority on the New England defense, remember?
Who picked up Brian Robinson?
Mason did. But he picked up the defense first.
Oh, I mean, he would have gotten both.
Whatever. Yeah, so, Joe, quit being mean to Mason. Don't bully him. Cyberbullying's not cool. Did you not see Clay Thompson's text?
Don't bespeech my name.
Clay Thompson has an NBA three-point rating in NBA 2K, and he cries about it to the guy that has to, make ratings. He makes video games, bro. You're a grown man making mill.
I'm sorry.
Go Lakers, by the way. Clay, I dropped Ewan McPherson, my fill-in kicker. His name's Evan. I call him Ewan. I added Derek Carr, Las Vegas. I also dropped George Pickens to pick up the New York Football Jets. I also dropped Derek Carr to pick up Dak Prescott. Joe, did I make the right decision there? Was Dak Prescott the right move?
I didn't see the Prescott move.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, buddy. What a twist, huh?
Who does Dallas have this week?
Detroit.
Oh. Sure. Who does Carr have?
Houston.
Oh.
So it was tough. It was tough. In fact, and I'm also.
It depends on the twist. We got to see till pregame. We got to see that pregame twist. It could be good. I mean, nobody's picked up Michael Gallup yet, right? Only in an 8-team league. Only in our 8-team league is Michael Gallup still a free agent.
Michael Gallup is on Tuna's roster currently.
Oh, cool.
Only in an 8-team league can somebody be that so confidently wrong.
Is Bateman still a free agent?
Yeah, he's still out there, Joe. Your 9th round pick. Okay, so moving on. Dak Prescott is now officially a Clay Major Buccaneer. with that being said, Joe, we're past the waiver wires. We're moving on to, I think, the meat and potatoes of the show, the commissioners' matchup previews, predictions, and pretentiousness. And that is where I give you my predictions, my previews, and also my pretentious sarcasm, which you all have grown to love.
Ting! And put
Thank
a
you.
little
You know,
ting.
just do it. First matchup, we are going to go with Boner Pills 4-2, second place in the league, going against Dirty Randy's historic start to the season. We cannot understand this enough. 0-6, currently in 8th place. Projected is 83.36 for John to 103.73 for Dirty Randy's. And this is because, John, your players on bye this week are Josh Allen, Stefan Diggs, the Bills defense, Devin Singletary, and Dallas Goedert. You don't have a backup tight end on the roster currently. So that's an open spot for you. And I think also your defense, you don't have a backup defense either. So that's 2 roster spots. Watch the waivers, boys. I hope you have high priority. Mason, you still got number 1? Is that my milk? Is that my milk? You put my milk? God damn it. I knew you was drinking my milk. I knew it. I only drink milk for protein. And every morning I grab it. I'm like, why is this less? Yeah, you saw there was another thing in there, huh? Yeah, God, Jesus. This isn't for the show. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Commish offices. Mason's in a rut. So we're letting him stay here. Mason's buys this week. I had the Rams defense on here. He did make that last-minute update right before the show, so they're no longer on his team. Tyler Higbee is also on bye, and the big one for Mason is going to be, Joe, where did you go? Joe. Hey, buddy. Welcome back. Tyler Higbee is on a bye week, and the big one for Mason's team, Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook, his best player, is on a bye week. Not the guy you want to be on bye going against one of the best players. I think John's the best player with the Bills starting in our league over Daniel. Daniel's a fraud. Storyline to watch in this game. Can Mason pull off the upset of the century and finally get the first win of the season? Mage factors. Listen. Jonathan, can you overcome the loss of the Bills on the bye week to defeat Mason this week? That's a mage factor right there. I think your Bills deep. I think all your Bills players on bye weeks, I think it's a mage factor. I mean, you have so many Bills, you can't drop somebody because you can't pick up a tight end or defense. You might just have to take the L, John. Give Mason the win. Let him be a happy man. Don't do that to him. Mason, I think your mage factor in this game is Geno Smith. I think anytime somebody's bold enough.
Can we cut that?
I think anytime somebody's bold enough to start Geno Smith, they're clearly either a madman or a genius. So I think it's going to be.
Or they drafted.
Yeah, stretches it as
starting quarterback.
What'd you say?
Or they drafted Russell Wilson as their starting quarterback.
Hey, he also drafted Aaron Rodgers. Joe's throwing shade, bro. Okay, so.
Wait, did you draft Russell Wilson, Mason?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He goes, wait, did he draft Russell Wilson? Okay, so one thought to start, Jonathan, my one thought to start would be either a tight end or a defense, seeing how you don't have either currently. Mason, I think it was a hard one, but ultimately I decided I would start A-Rod over Geno Smith. I know Geno Smith was my mage factor.
Can't stop your mage factor like that.
It's one thought, Joe. It's just a thought. Just a thought.
Well, it was 2 thoughts.
No, Geno Smith was my mage factor. That's a boom or bust scenario. One thought to start would be A-Rod. Why? I necessarily can't give you a reason. I just think it's more of a feeling. So, yeah.
Dude, fantasy football, feelings. They matter.
That's it.
It's
Joe,
2022.
With those statistics being placed in front of you, who do you have winning this matchup?
I think it's going to be tough for John to overcome the Bills being out.
That's a
And
huge loss.
This isn't exactly the NFL where any given Sunday,
it's half his team, bro.
Can win. But
He doesn't have a deep
off, man. I think
Mason for the upset.
Upset.
Joe,
Mason gets his first win.
Joe's got Mason first win. Joe, that's huge. That's how we start off predictions. Mason's loving it right now. Let me tell you something. In this matchup right here, I think based on today, my prediction, buddy, Mason. My prediction is Mason. My prediction is the Masonator. He's going to get it, and that is, of course, with the caveat if John doesn't start a tight end or defense. But he is going to dominate. He is going to rock it. Mason is my pick in this show.
Yeah.
So we're on board right there. What a great way to start.
Don't let us down, Mason. We just picked your 0-6 squad.
Yeah. Joe says don't let us down. I agree. I think he kind of gave us the bird, but we'll move on. So next matchup, we have Fantasy Messiah, fresh off that sweet, warm loss. He's now 5-1, currently still in first place. He's going against Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, MRN around here, 3-3, fifth place. Projected is 118.97 Daniel to 89.17 Tuna. Daniel's buys. Cooper Kupp. That's it. That's a big buy, though, Joe. Tuna's buys. Justin Jefferson and Matt Gay. Justin Jefferson's a huge buy.
When Matt Stafford, sorry, in case his mom comes in ritzing Matthew Stafford, is just a shell of the quarterback. Kind of like, I hate to say, I'm not going to mention his name, how Cooper Kupp just continues to produce day in, day out, day in, day out. Yeah, I'm going to have to say, I'm going to go with,
Wait. I'm not asking for your prediction just yet. I have some more stats for you before we get into that.
Please.
Okay. You were about to blow your load too early there. I'm glad I stepped in. I realized where you were going. So storyline to watch in this is how Daniel responds to adversity, losing his first game of the year. He was probably on the biggest high that any person has ever seen. I don't know how he could have contained his ego in that household with poor Morgan having to suffer from it. Luckily, I white knighted once again, Joe. So that's why I'm here. Facts. Bet. Mage factors. Daniel, I got Nick Chubb. You know I love me the Chubbster. I'm a huge Chubb fan. You picked him instead of Travis Kelce. I can't be too mad about that. But Tuna, my mage factor for you, I think this has been a multiple mage factor scenario for you, is your running backs. Are you going to start the Packers 2 running backs again? You're going to start Jeff Wilson again? I don't think you have another running back on your roster after him. So that's your mage factor right there, bud. One thought to start.
I have running backs. Let's make a deal.
I have plenty of running backs. One thought to start. For Daniel, I have Mostert or Godwin over David Montgomery especially. I think one of those two will probably get you more than David Montgomery. But that would just be me. I'm a betting man. I like the production there. I think Khalil Herbert's coming on strong, and I think the guy, Matt Eberflus, is not attached to David Montgomery like the old thing was, so he's going to go with a lightning and thunder backfield.
I mean, kind of exactly like Jordan.
And then,
Jordan?
Yeah.
Who am I thinking?
Well,
Jordan?
I also have a note here, Joe, and especially because David Montgomery is going against New England, and New England last week held Nick Chubb to below 10 points, held Kareem Hunt to 1.7 points. So that fuels my fire that just based off the matchup alone, you might want to start one of those two guys. Tuna, I think you should start Michael Gallup, who you picked up 3 weeks ago. Is been on a roster in an 8-team league.
No.
So, yeah, no, Tuna's had him for like 3 weeks now, Joe.
Oh.
But you can go back to trashing our league, though. I like that from the Players Association Union Representative President. I do. I do. Only an 8-team league.
All I'm saying is with an 8-team league, there are plenty of players who would be rostered in so many other leagues. Here, you can have this one. Nope.
Live television, ladies and gentlemen.
You know
That's
what?
great. Joe, shot.
Bottoms up. That was more than a shot.
Mason, I need a broom. You'll bring one out. Jesus, live television. You can't beat it. Oh, that's cute. I imagine that's also the size of your condoms.
Where do these things come from?
Oh my God, dude, that's too good. So with that being said, with the Michael Gallup starting on the bench for Tuna, Joe, who's your prediction in this matchup?
It depends on some roster moves. Let's just go with Tuna. Why not? Tuna, you got it. You're not even watching this. Why am I even going for you, Tuna?
Yeah,
I stay against you every single week because you don't watch these.
Yeah, because he's a cuck. Daniel is my pick in this. I think Daniel's going to get back on track. I think he's a slightly better man than Tuna. Mostly, I voted for this for Morgan. I don't want her to have to live another.
Awesome men. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Please forgive me.
No, you're okay. I'm mostly making that pick for Morgan because I don't want her to have to live in a household with upset Daniel, poopy pants, stompy Daniel. If he loses 2 weeks in a row, I don't think that's fair for her. She's a princess. So Daniel's my matchup pick in this show. Next matchup, we have the commissioner. I'm on the chase for the Hertz. 3-3.
You kept it even after.
Even after what?
You kept the matchup of the century, of the year, of the league, of the
everything. Yeah. Did you think I would switch it? I would switch it?
Yeah,
No, it's too good of a matchup. I cannot switch it. So my opponent's Sex Panther, 1-5, 7th place. Projected. Joe, listen to these projections right now. This was after I put Dak Prescott into 132.08 Clay to 129.25 Mahendra. That's a tight game. That's a 3-point spread, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That is a get your popcorn ready kind of game right there.
Yeah.
Clay's buys this week. I have Darrell Henderson on a buy. I also have my boy, my namesake, Mr. Jalen Hurts on a buy. Love you, Jalen. I've been around rookie year, buddy. Remember me. And then the Eagles defense is also on a buy, which is a huge blow because the Eagles defense is currently ranked 3rd in defense. They've been outstanding. Mahendra. Joe.
My app says the Eagles D is number 5, but I shouldn't have even added that. I apologize. Continue, please. Isn't it amazing, though, that we use the same app and gives us different answers?
That is true.
This goes back to last year and the year before and the year before.
Yeah, it always does. We always get arguments about it.
They give different rankings just to different users. I apologize. Continue.
Thank you, sir. Mahendra, you have Gabe Davis on a bye this week. You also have Miles Sanders on a bye. Storyline to watch in this game. Will Clay continue his run from last week's win, or will this be Mahendra's comeback? Because, quite frankly, Mahendra, I don't think you can lose another game and consider yourself in playoff contention. So, big game for you. Goodbye, Joe. We'll wait for Joe to come back. There he is. Mage factors. Clay. I did not change this. So, I will tell you what I originally wrote. I wrote Derek Carr starting for my number 3 quarterback, who Joe so elegantly put number 5. Oh, no, that was the defense. So I would put that Dak Prescott, depending on how he is. That's my new mage factor because Derek Carr is not on my team anymore. Mahendra, run CMC versus Tampa. Tampa's on the same run unit that they have been in the past 3 years. Running backs have had Tampa.
Okay.
They have had some running back success against them this year in fantasy. Najee Harris got a cheap touchdown last week.
Cheap.
So one thought to start in this, Joe. For myself, I'm going to put Keenan Allen if he's healthy. over Ezekiel Elliott in my flex. That's what I'm working with. That's my cards. Mahendra, I'm going to recommend Kenyon Drake. After the week he had last week, gamble it. Ride it. See what happens. Prediction in this one. Joe, who do you got?
You are going to ride and die with Zeke until he is retired. He will be on your roster. You might as well just forever have Zeke on your roster.
Let's do a keeper league. That's Zeke's my keeper.
Jesus.
Just for semantics.
And as much as I would love to believe that the Bucs are going to shut McCaffrey down, he's the only weapon. They're going to have 169 yards of offense, and he's going to have 196 yards of them. You do the math.
Joe, why is it that the only nice things you said about football players tonight have both been about white guys? Okay, so I do the math, Joe. Who's your pick in this?
Clay. Clay's going to keep it running.
Oh, good stuff, Joe. Thank you, buddy. That means a lot to me. I am on a win streak right now in life and fantasy, so things are looking up. My pick in this is Mahendra. Kumar, I said it last week, dude. You're a great guy. I want you to win. You're the only person in the league I feel bad for beating. I mean, other than Mason, but everybody beats him, so I'm not the only one. But Kumar, I have you in this, bro. This is going to be a good game. I want it to be a good game. I have you in this. But secretly, I don't. Moving on, next matchup.
I'm sorry, who do you have?
Kumar. Mahendra.
Yo, this reverse psychology is really, yeah. This reverse psychology is really working for you, huh?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm hoping, Joe. You remember last week it worked. Joe, that brings us to. Let me take a swig of this.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the shot glass this time because I took way more than I should have. Some of us don't trash our shot glass.
America's fantasy football game of the week of the century game. Fucking trademark that, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ. I'm coming out with I shouldn't have said the F word. I'm sorry there, Joe. I apologize to you. I'm coming out with bangers, dude. That's marketable. It's marketable. Allergic to playoffs.
You said the F word.
I'm running a business, Nikki.
She shushed Corey, not you. Just kidding.
Okay.
Got him.
I got him. I got. I should have. Nikki would never shush me during my show. She actually respected that. So props to you, Joe. Props to Nikki's out there, by the way.
Oh, props to the Nickies out there.
Allergic to playoffs, Joe. 4-2.
Yeah.
Third place. Playoffs end of the day, which they don't.
I wouldn't be allergic to them, but they don't.
A 4-game winning streak going into this. Hilliard Hole. Andrew, who I would say sadly, but he just cannot be here tonight. Don't know why.
No, I know why.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember that you have a dinner party at 6 o'clock at night when you made an engagement to do something at 7:30? And especially when you were the first one, asked, hey, does 7:30 work for everybody? And he goes, yeah, sounds good. And then he waits a whole 12 hours to respond. So how is that not sadly, Joe?
As one Tom Brady, the GOAT, would say, I'm X. A lot of quotes except for the age. I'm 45 years old. Got a lot of shit going on, man. He's a grown-ass man. He's got a lot of shit going on.
And you know what else he said? You're getting your asses kicked out there. And that's what makes – and you're better than that. And that's what makes me fucking sick. And that's what Tom Brady said to his offensive line, Joe. And that's what I'm about to say to you. Defending your opponent like that, that's what makes me sick. I was quoting Tom Brady. I was quoting Jesus.
It doesn't matter if you quote
Jesus.
Who was the college coach who quoted the guy's text messages and it was and this and that and this and that?
Deion Sanders.
He's no longer a coach.
Deion Sanders.
Corey just heard you say the F word.
And I'm sure he's heard you say the N word.
No.
You said N word, didn't you?
N word. But he
Yeah, don't say that.
F.
Okay. So moving on, Andrew's a soft B word. Hilliard Hole 4-2, fourth place going into this one. Projected Joe 102.27 to Andrew's 133.85. Joe, I think that was projected before you set your lineup, so bear with me. Joe's buys this week: AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Tyler Bass. Joe, you do not have a secondary kicker. Did you change that?
Not at this moment.
Okay, so you still have your kicker slotted in there on a bye week.
I have plans.
We all had plans, but they just disappear. To the back of my mind. Oh, can't you see? Okay. Matthew Stafford and Adam Thielen are both on buys for Andrew this week. Storylines to watch in this: does Joe continue his win streak to 5-0, which is currently the longest win streak of the season? I think it might tie a league record. Daniel's already won 5 in a row, so he might get there. That's a big storyline. Mage factors. Joe, my mage factor for you is Justin Herbert. Last week he did a dud for you. And I think if he shows up, it's an easy win. I think if he doesn't, it's going to be tight and it's going to be close for you. Andrew, can your running backs continue to power your squad? You have an armada of running backs. There's 4 of them. 4.
Dude.
But just 4. Injury strikes, something happens, that's looking weak. Your receiver core, although on paper strong,
On paper.
for fantasy-wise, it's a nightmare of who to start and hoping, other than Tyreek Hill. But you do have a deep team. I think you have one of the deepest rosters in the league, with that being said. My mage factor was the running backs for Andrew. One thought to start. Joe, it's going to be either DeAndre Swift or Jonathan Williams.
Jamal.
I don't think Jamal Williams, thank you. I was about to say, I don't think that's his name. I think over Cortland Sutton. Hoping Cortland Sutton gets good, hoping he gets those receiving yards is good. I don't like him. I think Sauce Gardner will be matched up against him. And we haven't played Madden this year, but if we did, you would hear me talk about Sauce Gardner a whole lot. I like that dude. I think that dude's a shutdown corner. I played a whole Madden season with him in rookie, and he was fantastic. Okay. So I think you should look into that. And I think outside of Sauce Gardner, I think the Jets have a strong secondary. And I just don't see too much good things. That's just one thought.
Does it look pouty, or does it look just like a resting, angry face?
There's multiple answers to that question, Joe, that I cannot say on air. Yeah. Okay. Andrew, I think you should start Michael Pittman over Tyler Lockett. That would be my one thought to start for you. I don't think you should start Tyler Lockett. Once again, Geno Smith is Geno Smith. This isn't West Virginia. This is Seattle and the National Football League. So, yeah, nix that. With that being said, Joe, who's your pick in this?
As much as I respect Andrew's starters and bench, holy running backs, holy wide receiver, holy first half of the season wide receivers.
Mediocre wide receivers.
Sorry?
Mediocre wide receivers.
Who have produced well in the first half.
Mediocrely.
Running backs.
They're carrying his team.
Of course I'm going with me. Andrew, I love you. Big dogs. You're going down.
Joe's got Joe and America's fantasy football game of the week of the century game. And ladies and gentlemen, my prediction in this matchup comes down to a simple strain of thought. I line up analytics. I line up numbers. I will see for all of Tuesday night and Wednesday morning to ensure to you that I can get you the most accurate predictions on this show as possible. Now, reviewing my numbers and my formulas, I have come up with a winner of this game that I can tell you that with my heart disagrees with my brain. Joe, please.
Clay is about to pick between his best friend and best friend. No names, but this is separate. This is different than just picking his best friend. He has to be real. He has to be realistic and pick who he really thinks is going to win this matchup, regardless of who his best friend versus 1.B. Okay? It's not Keenan Allen versus Mike Williams. This isn't Mike Evans and
Marshawn Lattimore.
Godwin. No, God. Dick, sorry, Bob.
Daddy.
This isn't.
I'm listening, Joe.
Zeke and Pollard.
Okay, then what is it? Then what is it?
This is Clay's genuine prediction on the fantasy football match this week between two guys. Do we know who he's going to pick? Don't you, America? Don't you, America?
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen,
Tell us.
Joe, my formula, tried and true. I run the numbers every single day, minute of this day, and it's coming back, Joe. It's coming back. With that being said, I'm going Andrew. I'm going Andrew here. I'm going, woo, Andrew. I know how disappointing he is not to see it. And you're just mad. He goes, I built you up like that just to say that. No, I wanted to stop you. I like hearing it. Thank you. So I have Andrew in this.
I feel like Daniel.
Don't feel like Daniel. No, don't do that to
so
yourself.
hard.
Oh, nice.
I'm leaving you hanging over there.
Oh, I wish it would have came in.
Yeah.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I got Andrew in this. That's it. That's been my show. Joe, thank you for being in here and everything like that.
That's a hell of an ending. Just throw your pencil, say goodnight. You got nobody to press end incorrectly. Press the button, say goodnight. This is your commissioner signing off. I'm going to win. Clay's going to win. He's the champion. Am I on a roll? Is that good?
No, keep going. I love this. This is good. This is great.
This is good. No. We need it. We need it. Bring it.
Well, that is probably the best promo that's ever been cut on here from anybody other than myself. Joe, honest to God, I liked every bit of that right there. I liked our interaction tonight. I thought it was great. I want to thank you for being here. As always, you are so reliable in my life. Always around. That's like Hitler. Stop doing that. Nope. Don't do that.
Gronkowski. He's not in the picture.
Yeah, you're doing like the high Hitler. Don't do that. Stop. Just put your hand down, please.
You only see
Joe, please put your hand down. Joe, Mason, tell this man that he's not doing a Nazi salute. Mason, come look at this man. Tell me what he's doing right now. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. He's justifying it, bro. You see? Joe, stop. Put it down, bro. He's doing it. Stop, both of you. Oh, my God. With that being said, he's Joe Lozier. I don't condone anything he says ever.
It's funny because we hate Nazis.
He's your Players Association representative. We do hate Nazis here every single day. They deserve to die next to the communists. With that being said, Joe, thank you for being here. I'd like to thank our unofficial sponsor, Fireball. Once again, I single-handedly brought down Daniel, which none of you cucks could do other than me. So I will take absolute pride in that. Joe, let's do a shot before we leave here. I'll get some play-out music. And we'll see you all next week, ladies and gentlemen. Joe. Oh, I'm sorry. This is an ad for something. Don't worry about this. There it is. There it is. We back in it. We back in it.
If enough people subscribe, we wouldn't have ads. Step your game up. Subscribe. Good content.
Ask me for my Twitch, ladies and gentlemen. I've been twitching a lot more, so go ahead and get on there too, Sweet Joe. Good luck with Sweet, brother. I love you. Too sweet.